Do you know you can actually make the most delicious, spongy, moist, and soft vanilla cake without butter and margarine? Of course, yes. Hello, buddies. Today I bring to you my oil-based vanilla cake recipe that never fails. This is the best and the most delicious cake you could ever see on the space of this internet. So relax and don't joke with this recipe. Don't ever joke with this recipe. Relax and enjoy this video to the end, and believe me, you will love the outcome of this cake absolutely. So let's do this. So first thing you need to do is to measure out your eggs. For this recipe, you need 108 grams of eggs. Okay, so once you measure out your eggs in the bowl, you go in with 80 grams of vegetable oil, unflavored vegetable oil. Next, you add in 100 grams of granulated sugar. Then you're going to add a dash of nutmeg. Make sure you are using nutmeg seed for that flavor and taste. Next, you go in with 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor, half teaspoon of salt. Okay, so once you are done adding these ingredients, you go ahead and whisk. You don't need machine for this recipe, but if you want to use your machine, fine. Just whisk this thoroughly till the sugar is almost completely dissolved and you have your mixture just this way. Now at this point, you're going to start adding in your flour. For this recipe, you need 160 grams of sifted all-purpose flour, or you can use cake flour, and you need to add your flour in batches, like up to 3 to 4 batches. You don't need to pour everything at once so you don't have lumps in your cake. So you add the first batch, you combine, add the second batch, you combine, just like that. You add the last batch. Okay, so once you are done adding the last batch of the cake, you discover that the batter is going to look a little bit stiff, not too easy for you to stir it again. At this point, you're going to go in with your milk. So you need about 82 grams of liquid milk. Yes, you need about 82 grams of liquid milk. If you don't want to use liquid milk, you can also use liquid yogurt. It can work absolutely well as well. So you add in your liquid milk gradually. Just add the first one, you combine, add the second one, you combine, add the last. So after adding in your liquid milk and whisking everything together, you're going to have a kind of light consistency. Your butter is going to look almost like have this light consistency. It's not going to be too thick, it's not going to be too light, just like that, but it's going to be a little bit in between. So after that, you're going to go in with your baking powder. For this recipe, you need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Once you are done adding your baking powder, ensure to combine it very well so you will not have the lumps of baking powder or some particles of the baking powder on one side or the other side of the cake, and thereby giving your cake from that particular angle a bitter taste. So you need to whisk thoroughly so that your baking powder mixes well with every other thing or every other ingredients or the batter, so to say. So once you are done doing that, next thing is get your baking pan, your 6 inches round pan, grease it with your butter or margarine, then make sure that you line it with baking paper. Transfer this butter into it. So I decided to bake to remain a little part of the batter and use bake them as part of as kind of cupcakes. Yes, so bake them as kind of cupcakes. But before you transfer your butter into your oven, make sure that you heat the base of your pan on your work surface to level out the batter and also to ease out air. So these are the ones I placed to bake as cupcakes. So once I was done, I made sure that I baked this in my preheated oven at 150 degrees C for 70 minutes. So after this time, my cake was done. Make sure that you allow your cake to cool down completely, and once it's completely cooled down, make sure that you wrap it up to stay for up to like an hour or two before you can slice the cake. I had to wrap up the cake and I left it overnight before slicing it this way. It's going to keep the cake moist, and then anytime you want to, or maybe anyhow you want to work on the cake, it will be very easier for you to work on the cake. This cake, you can use it for your birthday, for wedding, for mini celebration, anything at all, and believe me, everyone is going to enjoy this cake. Thanks for watching. See you in my next one.